More than 45,000 people visit the emergency room between July 4 and 5. That is more than any other time of year. An ABC News medical correspondent and practicing ER physician probably sees a few of them, right? Dr. Darien Sutton is here to give us clues. Everything from car accidents, right, to fireworks and everything in between. And we were discussing this earlier. Some family members of mine may or may not have gone to Connecticut to purchase some fireworks. And I'm very laissez-faire about it, but it's very dangerous.
It's very dangerous, and this is technically the single highest risk period during the summer for traumatic injuries, for burn injuries, for car accidents, for drowning. So it's so important to understand your risk so that you can reduce that, keep the joy high, keep the risk low. That's what we always want to remember.
And you were raised by a mom who was far more...
And I am the son of a pediatric nurse who was incredibly risk averse, and so fire to her was always dangerous, even if it was just on the stove.
I'm sorry, this is a diversion, but what's like the biggest ER thing you see with fireworks?
Burn injuries. And that's why I think it's so important to talk about fireworks, because we do not realize, although they are beautiful, how dangerous they are. They are truly explosives, and many patients don't realize that. And unfortunately, that can lead not only to burn injuries, but traumatic amputations.
Even sparklers.
Even sparklers. So just some basic tips for fireworks, because many people don't realize. Number one, you want to know that that firework is going to blast off at a temperature as high as 2,000 to 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit at a speed of up to 200 miles per hour. At a pressure of 100 to 200 psi, pounds per square inch. That is 5 times to 10 times the amount of pressure in the tires on our car. So when you're holding the fireworks, you want to make sure that you're not holding it while you're lighting it. That is very, very important. They're unpredictable. You just don't know. You also want to make sure to protect your eyes. Eye injuries, unfortunately, are very common. Ear injuries from ruptured eardrums are very common just from the sheer sound of it. And then when you're putting that firework down, you want to know how to dispose of it. You want to make sure to soak any used fireworks before you throw them out, and any unused fireworks, because you don't want that to be going off in your garbage can. And then for kids, those sparklers, those can get to as high as 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So you want to make sure that you're being safe with those children.
Drop them.
Drop them on the ground, if anything.
I feel like just leave it all to the professionals, right?
Exactly.
Just
That's really real. We could sum it up with that.
Yeah. Speaking of travel, holiday weekend, all this stuff, there's a lot to deal with. There's 72.2 million people expected to hit the road. That's a record. So how can people stay safe with all these people traveling?
I think understanding car safety before you start driving is so important. There are some basic tips that everyone can use. Number one, the position in your car. Making sure that that headrest, and I know it sounds foolish to talk about it, but neck injuries are very common. Making sure that the headrest is at the height of your head or just above it.
Okay.
You also want to make sure that your steering wheel is appropriately placed. The airbag coming out of that is very forceful. And then this is very common, no knees or no feet up on the dashboard. When you get in a car accident, or God forbid you do, that increases the risk of injury to your face. And then for children, and this is something that my dad would agree with, booster seats. We always forget about them. They help to keep the seatbelt on the waist and on the chest, not on the stomach or on the neck.
Until how old with the booster?
Until up to 12 years old, depending on their age.
All right. Juju, you're a bad girl, but we still love you. Coming up here, thank you, Dr. Darien.